Well, good afternoon, everybody. And by everybody, I mean the people that are watching later because nobody's watching right now. The doctor is in. I just felt like going live for a bit and chatting and hanging out. I've invited a few folks, see if they'll pop in here and join the show. In the meantime, I'm going to ramble a little bit and talk about some stuff. So I saw old Tom Taylor's post about the shockingly and surprisingly gay Superman, where he was engaging with people who were not happy with him. And I simply posted, brave, courageous, bold move, predicted and predictable, yawn. Because why? Because it's just a one trick pony at this point. All the mainstream comic books folks seem to be able to come up with is, hey, let's gender swap a character, let's race swap a character, or let's change the sexuality of a character. These are not dynamic story moves. This is not Nobel Prize winning literature, folks. So, I don't know what to tell you. How do you go from the Korvac saga, Demon in a Bottle, to, gee, I think I would like to explore my sexuality with you, and think that you're coming up with something astounding? Because you're not. That's just self deception. By the way, Gary, if you're watching, I am supporting your channel. You guys, I'm actually into narrowboating. Narrowboating is canal life over in England. They have close to, I think it's 3,000 miles of man made canals across England. Not very wide, so they have very narrow boats, and people live on those boats and they cruise all over the beautiful countryside. And I started to actually partake before the coof hit. So, but I didn't. So here I remain in my studio making art. Now, mind you, I was going to keep making art on the canals, but I was going to keep painting, just doing landscapes. Instead, I remained here, and now I'm doing a comic book that's taking up all of my time, artistic energy. I came very close to doing a live stream of painting the other day, so I may yet do that. The reason I don't live stream drawing a comic book is, for whatever reason, my camera quality is not sufficient for picking up the minutia of drawing little fine lines, but it'll pick up paintings just fine. I don't know why. I'm the least technologically savvy person that I know. In other breaking news, I'm sure everyone by now has either seen the Dave Chappelle special, The Closer, or have heard about the controversy with it where he said transphobic things. He should be canceled. Okay, first of all, cancel culture people, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear anything you have to say. You are not relevant. You can't cancel Dave Chappelle. He's a goat. Okay, he's cancel proof. Let me see here. Do 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 do. Where did it go? I was looking for something. Anyway, I watched the special. He didn't say anything transphobic. He told a beautiful story about a trans friend of his that he thought the world of, spoke very highly of, and pointed out that that person's suicide was not related to them being trans. It was related to them being attacked mercilessly on social media because this person defended a comedian's right to be funny. So, does it ever, where is the breaking point? Where is critical mass for this? When does it all implode? How far into the psychotic left can we go before, some Isaac Newton kicks in? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When does that happen? Because it's gonna. I'm just wondering when. But anyway, that's enough of that stuff. I can take my time and take it easy and just sit here and rant. So there's this unique phenomenon also if you're a smoker. Your lighter dies. You get a new lighter. The new lighter dies, and then you find the old lighter, and the old lighter is now working again. This one died months ago, and it came back to life, so no need to run to the store to get a new one. Little things. There's a thing called, and let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. I'm going to share screen with you. You have to click like 20 times. All right, so let me go back to this. It is called, and I have a problem pronouncing it, resistentialism. And resistentialism is a jocular theory that describes seemingly spiteful behavior manifested by inanimate objects, where objects that cause problems like lost keys or a runaway bouncy ball are said to exhibit a high degree of malice toward human beings. I would say towards certain human beings. I suffer from this. Some of the examples that they have given is you drop a pencil and it will always, for some individuals, fall outside of your reach. Wherever you're reaching for, that pencil landed over there. As an artist, when I'm painting, I put down the brush, it disappears. You find it in the shed out back. Okay. You drop your coffee cup. It doesn't just fall and break. It's got to fall, bounce off of the cupboard, splash the hot coffee into your face, and then fall right on your toe in such a way as to break your toe. That's my experience with inanimate objects. So I live that life. So when I get a little victory of a working lighter, I'm just thrilled that something worked for me. Which is why, by the way, if I buy something and it says some assembly required, I send it back because it should say permanently broken because I ain't fixing shit. It's a mental disorder. Thank you, honey. But it's also true. She's witnessed it. She'll deny it, but she's seen it. So let me see. I got a message here. Let me see who's talking to me. Oh, I have to. Okay, got a couple of guys that said, give them a few minutes and they'll be in. So we'll have some guests here shortly. I love you too, honey. I got a whole audience of just me and you, so I could just holler, "Hey, babe!" Holler across the house. Got a couple of guests going to pop in here in just a little bit. So we'll give them time to get here. I'm not in any kind of hurry. I'm actually bored out of my skull. I should be working on the book, and I will. I'll probably work until late tonight, but at the moment, if I looked at another piece of Bristol board, I would go batshit crazy, so I'm not doing that. Wash hands. I need to wash hands? I don't understand. Is that a joke? Are you slamming me? Am I being offended right now? Should I be offended right now? My hands are clean. Ooh, I have nice hands. Look. So I was watching. It's odd because some of you guys that are Comic Skate that I subscribe to and I watch your streams faithfully, support your channels. I haven't been getting notifications. Oh, she said, not washing hands, waving. I've been watching your channels faithfully, but I'm not getting alerts for when you're going live. So I went to check to make sure I was still subscribed, and I am. So I'm talking to you, Will, at Creators Outlet. I'm talking to you at F Off Well Read. No alert, no announcement of an upcoming event, nothing. I'm getting them from Pops. I'm getting them from Dark Gift. I'm getting them from other creators, the richness, but not from you two guys. So I'm talking to y'all. I don't know why that is. I'm just letting you know, and I don't know. I don't think there's anything you can do about it. I'm just sharing that that's happening. Oh, I got a check something here. Excuse me. Also, I've got a technical question. Obviously, when I go into my advanced settings for my camera quality, the highest mine will go on this particular webcam is 720p. I know they go higher, but is that a software thing, or do I need to buy a new webcam because it's not sufficient quality to show the artwork the way I'd like to show it? So anybody, even if you're watching this later, you can leave me a chat. So and leave me a comment and let me know. You get, I get yours. Honey, did you have a stroke? Or is there a lag in our conversation here? I'm confused. But I hope Pops and Will hurry up and get in here so they can introduce themselves to the legendary Tay Tay. And if you're out there today, and I have several friends that are recovering from the coof, I hope that you're doing better. I hope you're feeling well. Those of you that haven't had it, I hope you don't get it. Oh, you got you got a notification that I went live. Okay. Thank you, honey. Her notification that I was going live was, "Hey, honey, I'm going live." What was I saying before you interrupted me with that? Damn it, Bobby. I lost my train of thought. Oh, the legend of Tacy. So one of my narrowboating friends across the pond over in England, uh, his channel is called Gary Captain Phillips. His boat is Chugabug. Gary is a very popular boat tuber, and during the lockdown, he was doing live streams from his boat. So, so when I told him one day that my wife's name was Tacy, he said, "Well, surely you mean Tracy." Uh, no, it's Tay. So I had to, phonetically spell it out, Tay C for him, and do the usual that I have to do for people, which is it's Tracy without the R, it's Stacy without the S, it's Tacy. She is named after a character in a movie or an actress in a movie from long ago. And honey, type in the name of that movie for me so I can remember. I always forget it. But it's a unique name for a unique person because she is just a wonderful human being. She is loving, she is kind, she is fierce. She is a don't F with her. She wears Maybelline 80s girl. Just telling you right now. And she has many fine qualities, but when the quality she does not possess is any kind of sympathy for your ass. If if you happen to break your neck in the yard, she will say, "Well, that's what you get." One Desire, played by Ann Baxter. That's the movie, yeah, and the star. So I have to learn that if I want sympathy, my mother passed away, so I'm not getting it there. Not getting it from Tacy. I don't get it from my son. So I go talk to the dog, and the dog will go, "Ooh, okay, thanks, appreciate it." Oh, I'm going to get you on the show one day, honey. You got to co-host with me. I mean, Shelley LaPresti does it with Aaron LaPresti. You can come on. You do my art shows with me when I do fine art painting, so we'll get you on here one day. Maybe when I get my camera situation sorted out and I'm drawing, we'll do the same thing we do on the art streams. Because she's a hoot. She's got this one joke that she tells. And I'm not allowed to tell it. So anyway, in other news, Columbus Day has now been modified, not canceled, just modified, to also be Indigenous Peoples Day. Okay, which Indigenous people is my question? Because there were tribes before tribes before tribes. This land was taken by this tribe from that tribe. Just let me know which Indigenous people. That's all I want to know. Which ones? I don't think it's necessary that a person, or I should say, I don't think it's necessary that the left as they always do, virtue signal by creating an Indigenous Persons Day on Columbus Day. You want to do that? That's fine. Do it on a different day. As a matter of fact, go back through the indigenous people's culture and find out their most significant day of the year. You won't find it because all of them were different, but try and do it then. No, we got to do it on Columbus Day to perpetuate the myth that this was a rapist, genocidal, blah, 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 and that all of America is evil. All of Western civilization is, just stop. Nobody buys your bullshit. Oi, oi, Tree Goblin. Good to see you, buddy. Just doing a little hangout today, talking about the shit in the news and waiting on some of my guests to get here. Hopefully Pops is going to pop in, and Will. And I sent the invite to Anthony at Dark Gift and Andy, my favorite chuckling mad scientist. How are you today, Goblin? Oh, I got to send the link to one more person that's bound to get some trouble for me. There we go. And there I am back. So we'll just see who shows up, if anybody. If not, I'll go again later because, when you're looking for that content, Goblin, I'm sure you're there too. You like watching some of the comic skaters. I enjoy listening to their points of view, whether they're doing a draw stream and being creative, talking about comics, talking about the industry, whatever it is. I enjoy it very much. Not a big fan of the blood sports drama queen people. That doesn't do anything for me. I think that comes from a lifetime of being a counselor. I had to deal with drama professionally. I'm certainly not going to do it for free. I look like I've had a stroke. I'm talking out of the side of my mouth. Why is that happening, honey? But nobody was live right now. I'm old, negative, and stale. You and me both, buddy. But I was looking for something to watch. One of my live streams now, Louder with Crowder was on, so I watched him. I enjoy his show very much. Don't always agree with everything he says. Don't have to. For the most part, I enjoy it. But then I went looking, for some of my comics, comic skate creators, and none of them were on. So I thought, well, hell, I'm one of them. I'll go live, and I'll just talk about some shit. And I don't really care how many views it gets or not. I'm bored, and there's something I need to do. Is just hang out and talk. So hopefully these guys will get in here, and we'll see what's up. Let me refresh this page. Hey, Tree Goblin, I've got a question for you. When you're on the Twitters and you send someone a message, does the little check mark mean they received the message or that the message was sent? Because I don't know. It's different from private messenger on Facebook. And while I'm waiting on that answer, I'm going to bounce to the kitchen and refresh my coffee because I don't function without it. So I will be right back. I'm back. Thanks, Tree Goblin. That makes me feel better. I'm not the only one who doesn't know. I'm new to Twitter. I'm not new to YouTube. I've been doing my fine art YouTube channel for quite a while. I am new to the Comicsgate YouTube world. So Uh, okay, so Andy is about to do a very large tattoo and can't pop in. Catch you next time. That's how the man earns his money, so I can't fault him for that. I love having Andy on the stream. He'll draw the whole time. He never comes on camera, and that's his choice, of course. But the dude has a very unique style that you can tell is influenced by the precision that a tattoo artist must have. Goblin, I know you've seen Andy. I think he's usually AA in the chats when he comes on live stream, but he just draws the whole time, and he's very heavy ink, very a lot of use of black, but his work is just laser precise. And I know that comes from all those years of tattooing. You can't just sketch a tattoo. That's why I would be a terrible tattoo artist. Any kind of artist anywhere is always going to get asked, why don't you do tattoos by somebody? And the answer is, you don't want me to tattoo on you. I'm an impressionist painter. This is what I paint with, this big old Magambo, and I do this. And you don't want me doing that on your skin with a bunch of needles, I promise you. Just doing this to do comic books is nerve-wracking for me. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying doing the comic books. It does get tedious. I can usually crank out, if I push it, I can crank out 2 16 by 20 paintings in a day versus 1 page of comics in a day if I push it. So you can see the difference for those that, like me, who use their art to get that instant gratification. There's very little instant gratification in doing a comic book page. As a matter of fact, there's no gratification other than, hey, this page looks pretty good, and the wife saying, yeah, that looks good, because you've got to wait till it's finished. Then you're going to go crowdfund it, hopefully fulfill it, and then get some feedback before you get any kind of gratification off of it. Whereas I can knock out a painting, post it, and people lose their minds, and somebody buys it. Instant. Well, pretty damn near instant anyway. So don't think I don't miss that. As a matter of fact, Tacey will agree. Oh, by the way, Tacey, this is Goblin. Tacey, Snooky's mom in the chat, is my wife. The other day, I started to go live on this channel instead of my art channel and do a painting while we chatted, just to see if I could, because I haven't tried it with StreamYard yet. Usually I go live on Facebook and then I download it and transfer it over to YouTube later. So I'm curious to see if StreamYard on the phone will work as well as just going live using my phone camera on Facebook, if that makes sense. Tacey, you got to meet online sometime. You got to meet Shelly LaPresti, Aaron's wife. She's a lot like you, honey. Y'all are cut from the same cloth, and we're all the same age. I think Aaron is maybe a month older than I am, which is rare. Usually I'm the oldest guy in Comicsgate. I'm older than T-Bear, Artie Bear, and a month younger than Aaron, I think. I may have that backwards. Don't hold me to that. Don't fact check me. I could be wrong. I was going to try to find this Twitter thread with old, what's his nuts, Tom Taylor. Trying to find this thread where he was blasting everybody who disagreed with him. No, I can't find it by going to him, because his attack thread was actually attacking someone on their thread, and I don't remember whose that was. So not really a brave new frontier to have a gay character. It's been done. Sorry, Tom, you're not breaking ground. Goblin, her name is Tacy, Tacy, Tacy. So, Snooky was our Jack Rat, and he's passed away now, bless his heart. But he was a wonderful little doggy. So she decided she was Snooky's mom on her YouTube channel, or YouTube account, I should say. I don't think she has a channel, unless she's doing some OnlyFans that I don't know about. I mean, she might be shaking her moneymaker for all I know. Schnock is okay. She said you can call her Schnock. Oh, let me see. Oh, I got another message. Let me see what's up. Nope, totally not related. Okay. Still waiting to hear back from, well, actually, I heard from Will and I heard from Pops. Both of them are going to be a couple of minutes. I don't mind just chilling out and hanging out and waiting on them. They're good guys. And I enjoy talking to them. So if it's just those two with me, it'll be all the old guys of Comicsgate. I think Pops and Will and I, Will is younger than Pops and I. Pops and I are the same age. So that'll be fun. The old guys hanging out. Will's only a little bit younger, so he doesn't get a pass. He's not young. I drew Goblin, by the way. I drew both of those guys into my comic book, or actually, I have not yet, but I did the rough sketch for that panel. Don't be no grammar Nazi here. Well, I don't think schnock is being a grammar Nazi, honey, but at least you spelled grammar right. um, but I did do the sketch for the panel that they'll be in. I've just got to do that page and get to it. Basically, they're going to be the two old guys in a bar when a bar brawl breaks out that don't run away. They just sit there and keep on drinking and talking about comic books. With, of course, I'll put a hot little bartender in there for them to be flirting with. I think that was Will's idea. I'm going to make that female, by the way, look like Cherry from Cherry Bomb, the adult cartoon comic book from the 80s. See if anyone picks up on that. We'll see. I gotta groom this mess down, but I don't care right now. I'm comfy. So yeah. Anyway, Pops and Will are going to be in my comic, and there's one other person I'm going to put in there probably as a cameo, but that one's going to be a surprise. I'm saving that for later. Got to work out some details because it's actually a character from another book. But as of now, let me see. Chapter 1 of the book is done. There are 3 chapters to the book, so I guess I'm 1/3 done. But I've also got several pages in the other 2 chapters finished because I'm jumping around a little bit. You know, while I'm in the mood for action, I'll do these action pages no matter where they fall in the book. When it's intense and it's drama and it's dialogue and it's going to focus on the writing, which I'm also the writer, you know, that's a different mood. There's only so many ways you can make that interesting. You can't just do headshot, bubble, bubble. You know, you got to change those camera angles. You got to get some interesting nonverbals in there. So I'm working on those when I'm in the mood to do that. So that, you know, I guess that's the update on my book. I am not going to, despite the pressure from a handful of people, I am not going to launch the campaign on this book until I am done with all the art. And I mean all the art. That means after I get them scanned and I use Photoshop to do the replacement drawings and all that stuff, and correct little things like, oh God, I changed the angle on someone's legs as they were flying through the air and accidentally inked in the old angle sticking out from behind another person. So I've got to white that out in, I'm not going to use whiteout on the paper because it will still sometimes show up in the scan. I'll use Photoshop and I'll delete that. That sort of thing, make those little adjustments. Once that's done, then I'm going to launch the book. Autocorrect did your spelling for you, honey. Don't think I don't use that too, because I do. I'm a grammar Nazi, but I'm not a spelling genius. Try drag on a cigarette. Yeah, it's not good. Goblin, what part of the world are you hanging out in, sir? Or ma'am? I don't know. Goblin's one of the good ones, honey. Probably since the first time I streamed, he or she has been around and been very nice and supportive. And there's some other ones. Of course, I watched Alasmat retroactively. Again, Alasmat, that's another one. I'm not getting alerts for you. Um, Watched Alasmat last night. And of course, the triangle headed guy had to come on and complain about how F off Will Red's not listening to how he thinks things ought to be. And he doesn't understand why, when the answer is the simplest in the world. It's his channel. He can do whatever he wants with it, period, end of story. There's no discussion. Um, I enjoy Well Read streams very much. I enjoy hanging out with Alasmat. Uh, I enjoy all those streams. I really do. Um, I enjoy the chat very much. Even Jabba, when he's trolling at his best, is wonderful. I mean, he's fun. Twatless? No, Twitless is Twitless is a good guy, honey. She's trying to learn the cast of characters, and since I barely know them, there's not a chance she's going to learn all this right from me. Twatless. Triangle Head is a different person who I'm not going to go on about because he's not here to defend himself, and I'm not going to attack anybody. But you know, has a very kind of opinionated, self-serving kind of approach to everything. Twitless is a good guy. I've liked his reviews so far on F Off Well Reds. I do follow him on Twitter. Haven't seen any reason not to. Let's see, who else? I like that Sunshine, or is it Sunshine Wooster? I think so. Uh, I enjoy his contributions to the review streams. One thing I do agree with is you do need a little contrast. Well Read is very soft spoken and blah, 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 blah. And the other two cannot just be monotonous. Um, Sunshine is very much a monotone, deadpan kind of guy. So you need somebody on there that's a little more upbeat and snappy to balance the show out. But again, it's Well Read show. He can do whatever he wants to do on it. Period. It's not even open for discussion. Imagine complaining about comic book reviews on a channel that does comic book reviews. I'm doing a cooking show and you're going to complain that I'm cooking on the cooking show? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that would make sense to anybody. I don't think it does make sense to anybody. But anyway, Alasmat has the opinion, and he's just as valid and just as right as I am with mine, of not talking about the controversies that the SJWs are creating in mainstream comics, because why give them the attention? That's a valid point of view. However, making the effort to give feedback to some of these SJW creators is worth doing. I mean, at some point, like I said earlier, that critical mass has got to be reached where people go, you know what, that's enough. Okay. You know, you can't turn every beloved character into something just to fit your social agenda. Okay. That's not politics. Oh, Captain America punched a Nazi. Yes, because punching Adolf Hitler was a good thing, according to everybody but Hitler. Okay. It's not the same thing as turning Superman gay, Robin's gay, this character race swap, gender swap. That stuff is all your cultural point of view. It's not political. It's your agenda, and it's boring. Nobody cares. Nobody likes it. You can say, oh, our sales are doing this, that, and the other. Well, I would counter with, why don't you look at how many books are being solicited for every month by the two companies? They're going down drastically. My best friend is managing a comic book store in the metro Atlanta area, and I check in with him every week and get his numbers, and it ain't looking good. If they didn't have manga keeping them going, I think they would have shut the doors by now. I could be wrong. Maybe that infinitesimal percentage of the population that is actually trans is bigger than we know. Maybe it's 80% of the population is trans. I could be a woman. You don't know. I mean, I did know a woman one time that had a full on mustache. I'm talking about thicker than mine. It was scary. Is that transphobic? No, because she wasn't trans. She just had hair. But there's nothing big, bold, and brave about doing that crap. And again, like I said, you're not replicating the success of the Longest Night. You're not replicating the success of the Korvac saga, uh, Demon in a Bottle. Those big story arcs that ran starting way back in the 70s through the 80s. That were deep and they were big and they were bad. The controversy back then was, in the 90s, it was we killed Superman and we broke Batman's back, so now we get some replacement characters for a while. Those were the big shockers. Nobody thought Superman was staying dead. It used to be said the only people in comics that stay dead are Uncle Ben and Bucky. Well, hell, they brought Bucky back. So now the only person that stays dead in comics is who? Uncle Ben. He stays dead. And if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me on this, they tried to bring him back at some point, at least in a retro story or kind of an Elseworlds what if type thing. So yeah, those story arcs were great. They were fantastic. You couldn't wait for the next month to come out. Uh, a young Tim Drake exploring his sexuality is not keep you on the edge of your seat. I can't wait to see what happens next month. It's a publicity stunt in the name of social justice that carries all the weight of a freaking wet feather. That's it. Somebody quote me on that because that was a pretty good saying. This one keeps going out. Resist potentialism. I'm telling you. Just like there are certain canvases, I was going to grab one if one was nearby. Every now and then, every artist knows this. I should say every painter knows this. Every now and then, you'll grab a canvas, and that canvas is cursed. No good painting will ever happen on it, no matter how many times you paint over it. So I kind of developed a rule, on the third try of painting over a painting, if it's still crap, you have to burn that one. You have to sacrifice it on the art table and burn it to get rid of that possessed canvas because nothing good will ever happen on it. So yeah, that's a thing. And if it continues to happen, then you've got to sacrifice the paintbrush. It goes, you burn the bristles, and then you chop it up, and sprinkle the ashes over a freshly sacrificed goat or some shit. I don't know. I think sometimes it's my brushes paying me back because I am a terrible abuser of brushes. Um, I'm not nice to them. If they survive a year, they've done a really good job. Now, the expensive ones I take very good care of, but my everyday workhorse brushes, yeah, bless their hearts. I'm Christopher Columbus to them. I'm a genocidal, raping, smallpox blanket maniac killer. Oh, here's a message. Let me see who's hollering at me. Oh, also unrelated, but someone wanting the link to my art page. So let me send that to them, and while I'm doing that, I'll post it here. Do, 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 do. Yeah, and then we just put this right here. That is the link to my fine art channel where you can see my paintings. And just to kill a second, I'm going to actually play a commercial for my art. Let me find it. do, 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 do. All right, let's go back here and let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. There won't be any sound with this because I don't use Chrome. All right, here we go. Whoops, not there, but there, there. And I'm going to speed this up because why not? But these are some of my current paintings that are for sale. Ooh ah, that one sold. That one sold. I love that one. That's my personal favorite. That one sold. That one sold. And that's that. Yay. All right. So just a little look. If you go to my website, you can take a longer look. There's a great painter that I follow on YouTube. His name is Stuart Davis, spelled Davies, Davies, but pronounced Davis. He's an Englishman who does tonalist paintings, known for his extremely vivid skies and landscapes. He lives in France. I don't know why. The guy has been a magazine publisher, editor, a wildlife photographer for a major magazine. I forget which one, like National Geographic or something. Anyway, very soft-spoken, quiet sort of fellow. And he does these very large paintings, well worth looking up. But anyway, I love his work, and he and I were going back and forth talking, and he had said that you could not produce the effect that he was producing with acrylics, so please stop asking. Yeah, Tree Goblin, so you know he's good. And I said, oh, yes, the hell you can. And so I did a very similar landscape and sent him a picture of it. So the next time he brought it up, he goes, yes, you can produce this effect with acrylic, but not the same way I produce it with oils. Yeah, he's good people, really good painter. Also follow Turner Vinson. He's a very young painter, lives out in Montana. And he does these wonderful paintings that are far looser than anything I ever do, but I enjoy following him. He globs the paint on so thick it is literally hanging like toothpaste off the canvas. I don't know how he does it. I can't do it and don't want to do it. I feel like, I mean, there must be $50 worth of paint on that one painting. I'm not doing that. Paint is too expensive to play around with like that, but he's good and I enjoy him. And then there's another couple others that I follow. For example, I'll just share that with you. Rafi Was Here Studios. Rafi's art is nothing like my art, but I love him. He's a great guy. Stuart Davis is quiet and as calm as he is. Had one of his videos go viral, the one called The Illusion of Detail. Got over 1 million views, and now he's at 125K subscribers, where a couple of years ago he was lucky to bump 5 together. I follow Ellen Brennerman. Again, her art is nothing like mine, but it's wonderful. The Artful Souls, he paints very much like I do, so I also follow him. So these are really good art channels to watch, and I do watch them a lot. I watch everything they do. I'm a bigger fan of painting than I am of comic books, but not by much. I love comic books too. It's just that the SJW stuff hasn't completely taken over fine art yet. A good painting is a good painting is a good painting. I've got videos about how horrible modern art is, and even calling it art is wrong. Matter of fact, I'll link that video. It got me a lot of controversy. It got me canceled. Uh, but I don't care because it's true. This one's got, it looks like 203 views. But you're basically talking about a guy that just scribbled with a mop on a big piece of canvas with red paint. That's it. Just scribbles. That sold for $36 million. Now, if you were to crowdfund a book done by Leonardo da Vinci, you wouldn't get $36 million for it. It's stupid to me that people throw that kind of money at crap. But that's fine. You can spend your money on anything you want to, but do not try to call it art, because it's not art. Art requires artists. Art requires artistry. That ain't art. Sorry. You can call a pickle a car all you want to, but you ain't riding it to work. Somebody say amen. Let me see. Another message. Nope. Nope. Oh, wait. Nope. How is that a thing? Oh, sorry. I got sidetracked. Sparklies. I've got to go after the sparklies. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've given the guys some time. Probably going to end this stream, but then go back live again here shortly when Pops and Will can be here, so we're all on together. Basically, because I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice. So I'm going to bounce, and we will return shortly. Goblin, if you're around, you are certainly welcome and encouraged to join us. Oh, there's Pops. Never mind, we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Pops Van Zant.
Holy crap, now I get an intro and shit. Look at that.
Hey, Pops.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to have you. Just hanging out and chatting.
I'm just a busy dude, man. That's all. Busy dude this last four or 5 days.
Pops, you're always busy because you're doing a lot of good for creators, and we appreciate you.
Well, I mean, there's like a lot of people are like, hey, did you read my PDF that I sent you? And it's like, no. How come you haven't read it? Because when I sit in this chair where the computer is and the big screen that I can actually see, I go to work.
That's right.
I start sharing you guys stuff out. I start doing what I do here. I mean, when I sit in the chair, I feel like I'm obligated to do what I do. And then
exactly.
when I'm over there, kick back, that's when it's comic time. That's why I like a hard copy, because every time I sit in this chair, I just feel obligated to get out here online and start doing what I do. If I have time to sit in this chair, it's time to go to work. You know what I mean?
Pops, my wife is watching. So say hello to my wife. She's watching. Her name is Tacy.
Oh. Hi, how you doing? You said Stacy?
Tacy.
Tacy, hi, how you doing? Welcome to the madness. I mean, his show.
Will said he was getting his leg looked at and would be here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll hang out for a few minutes. Oh God, I would love to have a Gatorade right now.
Dude, like I said, I mean, I spent a little bit of time on the golf course on Saturday and Sunday, and I rarely play golf 2 days in a row. I'm getting a little old for that.
Right, right.
And I'll still go out there and crack it from the farthest tees back like the youngsters do, because I play with a bunch of youngsters, and I won't go to the senior tee box. Ain't fucking happen, I won't do it. I mean, I'm going to play back there, hit back there where my son hits from, and then we're playing golf. But man,
how old is your
days
son?
Of that?
Oh, you're feeling that, buddy.
Yeah.
How old is your son that you play golf with?
He's 31.
Okay, so he's just a couple years older than my youngest. My youngest is a professional wrestler, so I'm not participating in that hobby with him.
Well, see, mine wanted to be UFC. He wanted to go fight UFC, and it's like, I mean, he's one of them. He's one of them rowdy dudes. He's rode bull. He's done. I mean, if it's a challenge, if it's a human challenge, dude feels like he has an obligation if the opportunity presents himself to dive headfirst out of that plane or whatever.
Your kid and my kid cut from the same cloth. Listen, let me tell you. He was doing backyard wrestling before he went pro, which means no ring, just throwing each other off of trees and tables. And he did the extreme skateboarding, the extreme cycling.
He's still doing that skateboarding shit. He takes all the kids to the skate park. He's like, I hurt my back today. He's like, fell off skateboard, didn't you?
Yeah. Because, Snooky's mom is Tacy.
Okay.
and Tree Goblin is here. He says hello.
What's up, Tree Goblin? How you doing?
The legendary Goblin. Always glad to have him hanging out. And always glad to see you, Pops.
Hey, it's good to see you, man. We're getting older. Every day we turn the computer on, and all our friends are still there. It's a good thing.
That's right. But I remember I was kidding with Pops. I said, you need to do a chill stream, because he substituted for Dark Gift while Dark Gift was down with COVID. And I was the only one that popped in to chat with him. So when I had to go, he just saying exactly what he just said.
After you.
Oh, who did?
Rose.
Oh, Rose did.
And it went off the rails after that.
But Pop said the same thing he just said a minute ago. I feel like if I'm sitting here and I'm streaming, I've got to be promoting, because that's what he does. So he's not going to do a chill stream. So I said, well, then come on mine and hang out. That gives you a break. You can just hang out and be yourself and relax.
And not only that, but it's like when people tune into my shows, they expect to see somebody's, it's Comic Talk with Pops is the channel. All my shows revolve around highlighting somebody's project or, unboxing somebody's project or first time guy out here.
Right.
Everything. All my shows are based on actual, comic content. So it's hard for me to come out here and just BS on my own stream because people tune in. All right, where's the stuff?
Yeah.
What do you got to show?
You need to have me on as a guest host too.
Oh, dude, anytime.
Because I can talk shit. But look, hey, Pops, look at this. I did this for you.
Dude.
I did this for you so I could be in the hat club.
I have a brother-in-law or ex-brother-in-law that used to fly F-18s.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he trained people to fly those. His actual job was a navigator on an A6.
Right.
It was wartime, that's what he would be doing.
Yeah.
But what he did when it wasn't wartime was train people to fly F-18s.
Right. No, I don't mean my Navy. My Navy service, I did that. I mean the fact that I'm wearing a hat. I did that so I could be in the club. Because I wear hats when I go painting, but they're broad brimmed and my headphones don't fit over them. So I said, God almighty, I got to go get a ball cap.
But see, it's like this. You don't have to have a hat to be in the hat club. You just have to be a hat.
I don't even know what that means, Pop, and I'm a little scared to ask.
It's all right. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Hey, Pop, do me a favor.
You're covering somebody else, which is what we all do for each other. We cover.
There you go. There you go.
We help each other out. It's a hat club.
Gotcha. Hey, Pops, hold down my channel for me. Do a commercial for somebody. I'm going to go get some coffee and something cold to drink. Be right back.
Oh, let me see what I got handy. All right, hold on. Just a second.
You've got it, brother.
We have. Something came in the mail just yesterday from Dojo Coon Comics. Is it Dojo Coon? Is that who that is? Siamese? Oh, good stuff. Yeah, Brian Menard. Yeah. Man, I get this one and Shotgun Samurai, and there's like a few of them that I just stumble over the names of. But yeah, this dude came in yesterday. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I've been reading Rammer by Charles Santino. I've been reading that. But this one looks pretty freaking good. Looking forward to reading it. It's all solid on the inside. Oh, yeah. So we'll be checking that out, and I'll be sending Brian one of my Pop's patented one-sentence reviews. They're usually pretty easy. Hey, man, that thing rocks. You know, I don't do the dissection reviews. I'm a hype guy. I'm trying to get you guys to buy it. The last thing I'm gonna do is go out and tell you all the reasons not to. That would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it?
Good job, Pops. Thank you.
All right, we did a little commercial for Dojo Kun. That's what we did.
There you go. Goblin said earlier he's old and stale like me, so he might be in our age bracket there, Pops. He's been skating since '87.
Well, he started skating well after I got out of the Navy, so I don't know about our age.
I mean, it depends. I got out in '88, so if he was skating then, he might have just been a young 20-something. Who knows?
I was class of '81. And I went in the Navy before I graduated.
So did I.
I was 17. I was bored to death. School didn't do nothing for me, man. I had 2 older sisters that were really smart. I went into every grade bored as hell because I already knew all this shit from listening to them. So every grade was just boring.
I was the same way, Pops. As a matter of fact, I remember saying, you guys have been teaching the same shit since the 9th grade, So literally, I joined the Navy while I was still in high school, dropped out. Yep. But it went like this. I went down to the recruiter, took my ASVAB, and he gave me what I wanted. He said, but this contract's only good for this long. I was like, oh, crap. So back in our day, because I know you'll remember this, you could drop out, go across the street, take your GED, get it 2 days later,
but you still had to have mom's signature if you were only 17.
Yep, I got
That's exactly what I did.
Yep,
I did
same.
the GED.
Yep.
Look, 2 days I took 5 tests. In 2 days I took 5. I did not study for nothing. I smashed all them tests, and I go.
And then haze gray and underway.
Dude, go through boot camp and everything, and I'm ready to go because my sister was. This is where she met her husband. She was at Lemoore, California, working on the F-18. She was weapons ordnance on the first commissioned squadron, the BFA 125. Wasn't even a commissioned aircraft yet. She's up there working on the F-18. That's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I signed this contract. Yeah, man, I'm going up there. I'm going to go hang out with my bullshit.
Yep.
They said, you're going to go be a telephone operator on a ship or a telephone repairman on a ship. And I said, no, I'm not. You got me all fucked up.
I was blessed, man. When they locked in my contract, everything went exactly the way it was supposed to. Now, when I graduated from corps school, the medical school for hospital corpsmen, I was automatically approved for a C school, which for you civilians, that's an advanced school.
Right.
I was supposed to go to IDT, independent duty. No, they were passing out the envelopes on our very last day. You've already graduated. You're back in your classroom in your dress uniform. They're handing out orders, and they're putting down these blue and gold envelopes on every desk. But every 10 of us, they put a red and gold envelope, Pops. Marine Corps. I said, what does this mean? They said, you're about to go to another boot camp. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I ended up in the Fleet Marine Force, serving with the Marines the whole time I was in. And while at first it scared me, I wouldn't trade it for anything. That was the
way the Lemoore station, the Lemoore Air Station was. That squadron was half Marine and half Navy.
Yep.
And all her friends were all Marines. My sister,
both of my sons were named after Marines. As a matter of fact, when I first found out I was going there to the Fleet Marine Force, I was nervous. But I am here to tell you the best people I ever met were some of those Marines. And
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Were you at San Diego? Were you at NTC over there?
Yeah, I did NTC, RTC.
And they had that little EM club there, right, where Marines and the sailors would both go to play pool.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yes.
Fight. Dude.
Been there.
Some good times in that place, man.
Yeah, I always felt conflicted because, if the Navy and the Marines start fighting, what do I do? I'm technically a sailor, but I'm with the Marines 100% of my time.
Yeah,
So
but you got to
usually,
run with your uniform. That's what sucked.
yeah. Well, I wore their uniforms except for their dress blues. You know, we wear ours. But usually that meant I would just sit back and drink a beer and watch them go at it. You know, I'd be the one to hold the door open when the MPs came. Oh, we got to run, guys. Got a bail. Did you go down to Tijuana while you're out there?
Everybody goes to Tijuana.
I was telling my wife those stories. You know, you have to be back by sunset. And I was at a bar drinking that. You remember that Red Rooster beer? It's just a clear bottle with a red rooster on top of a gold cap. Terrible beer, but cheap. Oh my God, you could get tore out the frame. Anyway, I spent way too much time at this local little dive, and the bartender said, "Hey, gringo, you need to go. Sun going down." I'm like, "Oh crap!" I couldn't find a cab. I couldn't find any of my buddies. I ran all the way back to the border and barely made. I'm talking about the shore patrol was waiting on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things, you know. I mean, they told you flat out, if you're looking for a lady companionship or whatever, don't get one. Don't go down there for that. This is San Diego. Plenty of hotties up here do that. You know, it's
You go
like,
down to 32nd Street Pier for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of hotties up here in San Diego that would do all that stuff for you. Just, try to protect yourself when you go south.
Yeah,
Don't buy no weed. Don't do, because there's
yeah.
somebody down there that's trying to bust you for buying weed. You know, I mean,
Now,
it's like left and right. They'll
what you
sell you
do
the weed,
buy,
and then
what you
they'll tell the guy at the border that you're coming across with the weed, and they get more. They get paid to rat you
they
off.
get paid to turn you in, and they get the dope back.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but what you do buy in Tijuana, if you're ever there, ladies and gentlemen, great leather boots for like $100 pair of boots down there is $2. The woolen Bajas that everybody wears, I got a handful of those for like $5.
Very nice ponchos, very nice hats. They make
Hmm.
very nice goods, clothing. Very nice stuff
The boots are off the chain.
that lasts for a long, long time. I don't mean
Mhm.
like super nice, fancy that's gonna fall apart next week. I mean nice that you're gonna be wearing 10 years from now.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. But it was good times, pops. But here was the thing: I hated the West Coast. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. It was alien to me. It rained twice the whole time I was on the West Coast. Only
Oh, you
once while I
really
was
would
in
have
boot
hated
camp in
where I
Crystal.
lived in.
Yeah. So when I graduated from FMS, not to be confused with FMF, Fleet Medical School, when I graduated from there, you get your dream list, put down where you want to go.
Mhm.
I said, I don't care where you send me, but you send me to Second Mardiv or the Eighth Fleet. I got to get back on the East Coast. So they did. They sent me, and I spent all my time in the swamps on the East Coast, Paris Island, Camp Lejeune, Cherry Point. I was there.
Hold up. What's Tree Goblin talking about down here?
Oh,
Trimming, trimming that garden crop. I gotta know. I gotta know.
you already
Flavors?
know.
What
You
flavors do we have up over in there? Tree Goblin? What's up? Gorilla Glue? I don't know.
Hey, look, he's making a fresh harvest. I shared my horror story with this, and my wife knows. True story for everybody that didn't hear it when I shared it on Dark Gift stream. Since at 17, I joined the Navy, and every job I was in after that was either medicine or mental health. I literally had to drug test for everything I ever did, so I could not use and didn't want to use. Okay, never smoked weed. Got close to retirement, and I needed
Some for you.
so I finally break down and I try it, and I turn out to be that 1%. I'm sorry, that 0.1% that does not have the neuroreceptors for THC. I can't get high off of it. I'm like, are you shitting me? I waited all my life to try this, and I just nothing.
Now, hold up. Have you tried some of the super awesome strains they have nowadays? That shit
Yes.
might have just give you some THC receptors.
Tree Goblin says some basic homegrown, but nice though.
Cool,
You know,
cool.
I like homegrown tomatoes as well. I think they're the best. Oh man, good times. But
I like
yeah,
flavors
what
too.
a bummer to find out you waited your whole life and then you finally try this stuff that's supposed to be this end all be all of just chillaxing and nothing pops. Not even the munchies, no enhanced colors. The conversation was not only
Well,
not more interesting, it was irritating.
I've never seen the enhanced colors that anybody talks about after 45 years or whatever. Okay,
Right.
it's not acid. It's weed.
Oh yeah. But THC is a mild hallucinogenic, which is why you get the munchies. It's why the colors seem a little more intense. It's why conversations seem so much more interesting. It's
The
not
only thing,
LSD, but it's a mild hallucinogenic.
the only time, nah, nothing hallucinogenic. Yeah, I've smoked a lot of weed.
No, you're not going to hallucinate seeing things. It just
Well, I know. I mean, I'm
intensifies certain
saying
experiences.
perception. I mean, it's like a lot of things. Um, like golf. I'll take golf for example. It's the one. It's like you know how you wear sunglasses outside almost all the time when it's bright. Your perception of where the golf ball is with glasses on is slightly different than where the ball actually is when you take your glasses off. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? For me, it's the same with weed. The perception is slightly different, but I mean, when people, oh man, it enhances colors and it makes everything to them. Nah, it just makes me chill. It just makes
Well,
me
I mean, for
happy.
some people it does, though. And remember, some people get the opposite. They get the paranoia with
Oh,
it.
I know.
I
I
dated a
know.
girl in college that would get so paranoid when she smoked weed. And I'm like, why do you do it? What's enjoyable about that? I don't like having the paranoia.
I don't know what I mean. What is the paranoia? Is it the stigma you're going to get busted by mom, dad, the cops? What?
It's
What?
whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What's the base fear
But
that
what's the
you get
point in
triggering?
smoking if that's what you get from it?
Well, see,
All right,
but the
like
whole thing is
here's
you
the
can
thing.
use it to beat those fears.
She
You
called
can
me up.
use it to beat
Yeah,
those fears if
she
you're
called me on a
smart.
weekend and she said she was laying some parquet floor down in a room. Would I come give her a hand? And of course I will. We're dating. So I go out and we're laying parquet floor. She disappears for a few minutes, and of course you'll see why in a second. She comes back in. She's working in the center of the room. I'm working around the edges, and I feel her staring at me. So I turn around and I look, and I said, "What's up?" She goes, "I know you're watching me. Why are you watching me?" I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" And she had just smoked, and she was paranoid. I'm like, "All right, girl, call me later on. We'll go get dinner. I gotta go. I'm not gonna be
See,
around you when you're doing this."
I just turn into a different avatar when I smoke. See,
I
oh,
saw that. Poof. I like my avatar. A young friend of mine who does manga and anime. She actually drew that of me for me. Here, I'll put it up. Oh, that's not it. Let me change it to the other one. Where do you do that? Edit
did you
avatar.
see? Oh, you probably didn't see what Les did
There we
last night.
go. There we go. Yeah, I did.
You saw that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, she did this avatar of me real quick, and I like it, so I keep using it. But yeah, tell me about Les.
Dude, that picture that he drew of me last night or yesterday?
Yeah, show
Holy
it. Do you have that?
let me see. Let me see if I can send it to you real quick. That just blew me away, dude. I don't
Mm-mm.
think I downloaded it, but I should be able to find it.
I haven't drawn you with your hat on yet. I will make that.
That was the first one I think that somebody drew where I actually got the hat.
Well, I'm going to put your hat on you. I just have to adjust your head angle, otherwise we won't see you. So,
Oh, I
uh,
got the video, but not the actual picture. Let me see.
okay.
Where is it? It's got to be in the group somewhere.
Well, just pause it on that section of the video and share your screen, and I'll share it.
Yeah, I'm just got to find the picture. Where'd the picture go? Man,
Hmm.
see, that's the thing, man. Oh, there's another one. Did you see the John R. Smith one? Let me send you this one too.
Okay. No, I don't.
Facebook. Facebook.
Okay. Oh. I may have seen that one because I hit the Facebook pretty frequently.
Let's see. Why can't I ever find you on here, man?
Because I'm not under Doc Blaylock. I'm under Christopher
I
Blaylock.
know. I know that's what I'm typing in, but it's like you don't even come up in my top 10, and I don't know any others. There it is. Okay.
I was going to say.
Let me send you this one first.
Okay.
So you can check this out. This is badass.
What is that on Facebook?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's the first. It was the book that I was in.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I have to outdo him then. Whatever this is, I got to do it better.
And dude, let's see. Where, come on. See, even then, where's you are so far down my Christopher list, and I don't talk to any other Christophers. I mean, really, I don't really know any other people named Christopher, and I still have to like type your whole freaking name out to get you on my list.
You had Chris and what's her name yesterday on your show. Oh shoot, what is her name? Yeah.
Okay, so there's that one. Now let me see if I can find the other one.
There it comes. Let me see.
That was a blank. That's a blank cover from the book that I was in.
And there you are on the cover with the goggles, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me share this. Where's the other one at? Come on, it's got to be here somewhere. I hate how many times you have to click this.
Ah, there you
go. All right, so here we go. And there we go. So this is Pops right here. In Darkness Rising, Mojo Risen,
yeah. That's
and then
Raj Mahan's book.
And then here's if it pops up, it's not popping up for me. It says waiting for screenshot. Let me refresh that, see if it'll do for us. There we go. Come on.
Doesn't like that one? What?
Yeah, the interwebs doesn't want to do it. Let me try it again.
Try putting it in the Twitter thing instead. There you go.
Oh, you sent it over on Twitter?
Yeah, I sent it to Twitter.
All right, let me get over there. Out of that, into that.
There he is. Look at that.
There. Hey, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
He's got you a little beefy, but he's got you.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
A little extra beard up on the side that we don't have, but
yeah. Now, is this going to be in a book or that was just a sketch?
He just was practicing with his iPad. He's like, I'm gonna
drop okay. There you go.
Dude. And I'm sending him some stuff today. He's going to remix that video.
Okay. I'm going to, I'll post the panel. Tacey said it looks nice. I'm going to post the panel with you and Will in it when I finalize it. I've got the rough sketch now, but no point in showing that.
No.
Someone did comment, I'm not going to say who, that the barmaid I put in there looked a lot like Dory. I'm like, well, that was not my intention. So, Dory, if you're watching, or, I don't want you to think I was using your likeness without your permission. That was not my intent. It was just a random female. But that was just a placeholder because in the actual comic book, I'm going to try to make her look like Cherry Bomb.
Without getting in trouble.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think the creators of Cherry Bomb would have a bit of problem with it.
Actually, I think we have a connection to those guys through the madness. We could just ask them.
Well, hey.
Are in the book.
Yeah. A little cameo by Cherry. But the scene.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody that's involved in that's in the madness.
Well, that would be awesome. Here's how that scene's going to go down, because fortunately it's going to fit right in before a page that I did. So the heroine of the story is going to walk into the bar where she's going after one of the guys, and you guys are sitting there at the bar with Cherry and talking shit, blah 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 blah. And she's going to ask for this guy that she's there to kill, and y'all are going to point him out, and she goes on. After she does her thing, everybody panics.
You making me into a snitch, bro? No.
Everybody, no, you just say, "Oh, he's over there in the corner," because a hot girl walked in asking for the dude. You were hooking him up. So anyway, all hell's going to break loose in the bar with everybody screaming, yelling, and running out the door, except for you two and Cherry. What's their problem? I don't know. I killed Pop, y'all, live on the air.
Yeah. Whoa.
Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
That was a good
Put your
one.
hands over your head. Put your hands over your head.
Oh, no. That was a good one. Good one. See,
So-
everybody hears me cough all the time. Pops, you okay? Pops is just fine.
So anyway, that's your scene. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. Only when Cherry and Will point the dude out, just put me down here like I don't know shit.
Actually, Cherry's going to point him out. So neither one of you guys can be accused of ratting anybody.
It's like, oh no shit. Who? What? Yeah. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys a true story, and it's not a story I've told a lot of people. People up here in Michigan, it's kind of like old news, but it was news. My son and I bought some kayaks, and we went to this lake in northern Indiana to go try out our kayaks. And we went shing, 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 not 100 yards down the lake coast. And there's something over there to the left in the water floating. And my son's like, Dad, he's on the right side of me in his kayak. And he's like, Dad, what's that? And he starts like edging me over that way, right? And pushing me toward it so he can see what it is. It's a freaking body. Okay? I saw what it was right away. And all I wanted to do was
be elsewhere.
move on. I didn't see shit. I'm out. See ya. Right? I get about 50 yards up, and I knew it was coming. There was no doubt in my mind. Dad, I think we should call someone.
Yeah.
I was out. I wanted nothing to do with it, right? Because look, I know how police look at me. They've been looking at me that way all my life. I don't want to talk to no police. Okay? First thing through them was, this guy got to do with it. You know? No matter what it is. What's this guy got to do with it? No matter what it is, right? So I don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But my son is a good man. That's all. He wants to call the authorities. Turns out it was a friend of ours' stepdad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty horrific.
Which makes it worse for me because now we actually know who the person is, and now they can actually see what I'm saying. I wanted nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right. So, go out and I post, what happened, and the dude's son was like, at the time we didn't know it was his stepdad. Okay, and he cracked a joke, and the whole freaking neighborhood blew up once they found out who it was.
Yeah.
But at the time he cracked the joke, dude didn't know it was his stepdad. You see what I'm saying? He's like, said something about like, did you poke the body with an oar or something, some kind of, harmless joke, dude.
Just
Maybe
a little dark humor. Just a little dark humor.
Tasteless, but harmless.
Yeah, yeah.
Until everybody found out it was his stepdad, and then it was like, and then now I'm trying to defend dude. I'm trying to, and now they're all on me, and it's like, oh, man, I wish we'd have just.
We had.
You see what I'm saying? All I wanted to do was roll on. If we'd have just rolled on, somebody else would have found it. He'd have found out. Everybody found out differently. It all went down differently, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
Years ago, this was probably back in the late 90s. Friend of mine, I had several friends over to the house, and a friend of mine owned what's called a removal service. And basically, they transport human remains to
Yep.
funeral homes and whatever. Makes a lot of money doing it because it pays a lot of money. And he got a call from a coroner that said there were two basically little kids that burned up in a fire. And he had to leave. And I said, you know, where are you going? He goes, well, we got a couple of crispy critters up on the north side. And he leaves. The buddy sitting next to me, they were his kids.
Oh my!
He didn't know yet. He found out like 30 minutes later. And I had nothing to do with any of it other than being there. But I felt about that tall.
Dude.
I was like, oh, wow. Now he
Just
didn't.
kidding, it was your friend, huh? It was like,
Yeah, he didn't take any kind of offense at it, you know, any of that. But it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Apparently, the dude, my friend, his ex-wife had fallen asleep in the back of a trailer, left the two toddlers up front, and they were playing with a lighter. There you go.
damn.
Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. But that's why I don't share a lot of my stories, because as a counselor, and then before that working in trauma medicine, all I've got is horror stories. You don't want to hear them.
Yeah. And I have a cousin that was also a Navy corpsman and a triage nurse in I ain't gonna say where. Okay, triage nurse. You know, he's been
in an ER.
I mean, he's like a real nurse, not a run around douchey. He like takes care, saves people's lives and shit. You know.
Right.
He's told me, so many, stories, because it's a big city, okay? Big city, triage, lots of bad, gunshot wounds, people trying to kill each other left and right, I mean, he saw it to the point where he only had one escape, and dude probably took more acid than anybody I know, than any 10 people I know combined.
I'd be terrified to take acid with what I have in my brain.
That's the only way he could find a laugh anymore. He saw so much over the years. He's like, man, the only way I can laugh is to drop a hit of acid. Fucking giggle at you. That's the only way I can find any humor in anything anymore.
There was one night, Pops, I'm working in the ER. This made the news here. I'm working in the ER, and I'm literally helping a very elderly guy. We just x-rayed him, and I'm trying to get him back in his bed in the ER. Dude comes in with a revolver and pops 6 shots. I grab the guy and cover him the best I can, and all 6 shots went right up behind me on the wall. So God was looking out for me that night, and then, of course, security tackles the guy. But I'm here to tell you, it was like I got dude back in bed and had a moment to digest that. I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to take the rest of the night off. It's all the same to y'all. Not every day you get shot at in the ER. You deal with gunshots.
Saving somebody's life after they've been shot is one thing. Saving their life while they're being shot at is something else. I don't know.
Yeah, and the thought that had I not been one step forward of where I was, I would have ate all 6 of those.
On you. Yeah.
Man, they wouldn't have been in the operating. It was a 357. I'd have been dead. So, yeah, needless to say, we took the day off. Or actually the night, because I worked we called it the boogie shift, 3 to 11. Woo! Folks are getting home, getting drunk, rush hour traffic.
What about full moons?
Yep. You can try to debunk full moon all you want to until you work in an ER during a full moon. You don't know.
I'm telling you. And he would tell me, he'd be like, man, I don't want to go to work this weekend. I'd be like, what? Oh, full moon.
Yep. And the other superstition in the ERs that is true, you don't say the Q word. It's quiet. The second you say that, the radio is going to blow up. 4 ambulances are going to roll up. The helicopter is going to land out front. Oh, shit, here we go. But it makes the night go by fast. Oh, it sure is quiet tonight.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said that, newbie.
Yep, I can hear you. Crazy stuff, though, man. We live in a crazy world, dude.
Yeah, we do. We do. I'm convinced, Pops, that the Catholics are right the world ended in the year 2000 and we're all living in some kind of purgatory.
See, I've been calling this limbo for a long time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
at times it can be hell, but it's not always hell. Sometimes it's heaven. Sometimes
I
we're
think
limbo. We're stuck in limbo, and we're trying to, figure out where we're supposed to end up.
I'm thinking, the only thing that has improved over time is technology. We are not
Has
morally
it though?
better. Well, technology is better. Uh,
But it
it's,
hasn't improved us any.
no, no, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything else has gone down the toilet. I mean, what used to be absurd is now the new normal, and you better like it or
And everything
else.
that you were told before that has turned out to be true is still ignored.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, having said that, I'm not real big on getting into politics and art. I don't like it. In my fine art, never once do I mention my politics, and I'm not going to do it in comic books either.
Hmm.
Having said that, though, the fact that everybody else is doing it and thinking it's cool, and if you don't agree with them, they'll destroy your lives, that's a sickness. That is a cancer
Yeah,
on society.
yeah, yeah. Cancel culture is the stupidest thing that ever happened to humans.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
started with PC tolerance, and then away it went. And if you look back long ago, late '80s, early '90s, when we were talking about PC culture and what it would lead to, oh nonsense, no, it won't.
It
Here we
always
are.
does. Everything, everything always did. When somebody tells you, "Hey, that's gonna lead to here," don't just say, "No, it ain't." Follow the path.
That's right. That's
Follow
right.
the
And use a
path.
little
This is
critical thinking
exactly
to.
where this shit leads every time.
Right,
Every
right.
time. And we all get told, oh, tinfoil hats. And then in the end, those tinfoil hats turn into golden freaking crowns because we were right. But you won't
Well
even
said.
acknowledge that we were right.
Well
You move
said.
on to the next thing that we're wrong about
Yeah. Yep. Until we're right. There
again
was a there was a
and again.
poll that came out last night. The news covered it and Crowder covered it this morning that said that, and by the way, YouTube overlords, I am quoting a poll. I am not stating an opinion. The question was asked: do you feel as if Biden was legitimately elected? And 56% of conservatives said no, but 36% of Democrats said no. Just going to let that hang there.
That's half the country, y'all, no matter how you look at it. Half the country thinks it was a sham.
And that's just an opinion that was stated by others that I'm reporting on. So do not attack my wee little channel. I'm a nobody. We all know that Joe Biden is the most popular president in history. Let's go, Brandon. Let's
Look,
go, Brandon.
this is my favorite part of this. 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. You can't find him on the street when he drives by. You can't find him at the airport when his plane lands. You can't find him at a college football game, a wrestling match, a UFC fight, a baseball game. Where are they?
More
That's all.
popular than
81 million.
Obama. More popular than Obama.
No, but see, this is just
You
it.
got
I can
that?
remember Obama landing in Air Force One at Sky Harbor Airport, and there were people there.
Hmm.
He was popular.
Right.
That don't happen to Joe. Nobody
Well,
cares where Joe's going.
let's
Nobody
remember.
cares where Joe's been.
Let's remember that the Biden supporters are following the science, so they stay home.
No, no, no. They're the ones getting backs. They can go wherever they want. See,
I,
look, this is the
I'm
whole thing. This is the part that bothers me the most. A popular president has people out to see him, whether it's raining. No matter, look, do you remember some of them rallies last year where it was freaking pouring and people stood out, or last in 2016 when people stood out in the fucking rain all day to go to a Trump rally? That's popularity. That's
yep.
somebody that had a following. Okay, nobody cared about him. Nobody cared about him when he's running. Nobody cared about him. The media created Joe Biden. 40 something years in government, never did nothing. Never did nothing, man.
He is the most popular president in history, and don't you forget it. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
I see that everywhere, and I love it. I absolutely
And
love
did
it.
you see did you see it live though?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'm kind of a racing fan, okay? And oh my God, that was the funniest shit. Because she just tried to, oh, listen to the crowd. They're chanting for you. And they weren't chanting for Brandon. I'm sorry. And Brandon knew it. And Brandon, you
No,
can
we
get
all
on
listen, Pops. You're wrong. They were chanting, "Let's go, Brandon." You know it. I know it, and Brandon knows it. Let's go,
oh, man.
Brandon.
You know that dude's gotten more publicity and press off of this than he would have ever got.
Than he got for winning the race. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
than he would have ever got, man. He got so many more fans from that. Then think about it, NASCAR fans that didn't really care about Brandon. Now they're like, yeah, we like that kid because he played that off just fine. He played that off just fine. He was very professional about that.
Clap, clap, clappity clap. Let's go, Brandon. Clap, clap,
Yeah,
clappity clap. Let's go, Brandon.
good stuff. It was
It
hilarious.
is. Listen, the more they try to censor people, the more we'll find a way. We will find a way. Most popular president ever. The border is completely under control. Our foreign policy has never been better. Our economy is booming. We're building
Anybody
back
that knows
better.
anything about Ajo, Arizona? Anybody knows anything about Ajo, Arizona knows that that border ain't secure. They've been walking drugs up that motherfucking area since God knows when.
When I was in San Diego,
Nobody's ever
Pops,
been stopping them because they just come in little trains, 10, 15 people with backpacks full of weed or whatever on their backs. They walk right across. They walk right up to a campground near Ajo. Everything off, and they walk right back across the border with the empty backpack, fill it up again, and come back. They've been doing it for decades. Ain't nobody trying to stop them.
yeah, when I was in San Diego, Pops, being from the East Coast, I didn't have a car out there, but I lived off base during A school because I was married. So I had a very nice Motorbicane racing 12 speed. That was my transportation because I lived a good way away from the base. I lived in, San Diego. I lived in Hillcrest, so I had to go from Hillcrest to the Naval Hospital over by Balboa. Well,
I like Balboa. I
yeah.
spent a little time in that place too.
Yep. I left my bike downstairs. We had a garden apartment, so you had to walk up stairs to get to where the apartments were. You parked underneath. Left my bike down there. Went up to get some money because I was going to ride up to the Jack in the Box and get some supper for me and the wife. I come back down and my bike is gone. It's been stolen. I call the police. All right, now hold that thought. In my wee little mind, when I flew out there from Atlanta, I pictured being on the same latitude as Atlanta. I did not realize that those hills over there were Mexico. So the cop told me, he goes, "Brother, there's nothing we can do. Your bike's been in Mexico for a half hour." I'm like, "What?" And that was my indoctrination into open borders.
Yeah.
Way back in the early 80s,
Yeah.
somebody ganked my only way of getting around and took it to Mexico. I didn't know. I did
in Arizona, like 4-wheel drive trucks are the most stolen vehicles. It's like everybody thinks it's going to be some real nice shit. No, it's a truck that'll drive across the border and back out through the desert.
Yeah.
4-wheel drive trucks. They get stolen more than anything.
I got a friend of mine in the Fleet Marine Force that lives down in Texas near the border, and he was just so ecstatic when they were building the wall near his town. And then, of course, the most popular president in history comes in and takes control of the border, and now they're flooding back across again. It was not unusual for him to find a dead body on his property from the coyotes smuggling them over and saying, "Good luck." And they have no water, no food. They're weak. That blazing sun hits them. They dehydrate, heat stroke, and die.
That's what happens in Arizona. Look, I lived there for 35 years. Man, we heard about ranchers being killed when they come across the border. People being killed on their properties. They're out there. They're by themselves. There ain't nobody out there. They're out there with their family on their land. Ain't nobody out there protecting them and shit. And then whenever they try to protect themselves, they're the ones that end up getting hassled.
You're a racist, xenophobe, blah blah blah. I always loved it when people would say, "If you support the border wall, you're a racist." And I'm like, Mexican is not a race. That's not a race. That's another country.
Even so, most of the Mexican Americans I know want the wall.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do.
Okay, so call them a racist.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's crazy.
And I have a lot of friends in Phoenix that are Mexican Americans, or as Ali said the other day, Chicanos, because that's what we used to call them when we was kids, man. That's what they wanted to be called. That's what this Latina X crap or whatever.
Yeah, did you see the thing that Steven Crowder did about Latinx? He went out on the street interviewing people.
Nobody knows what it is, huh?
He asked them, "Do you like being called Latinx?" And they were offended by it.
Yes.
They don't want to be called that. He goes, "No, I am Hispanic." Another one said, "No, I am Latin American. Don't call me Latinx."
Ollie was like, "I'm Chicano."
Yeah. Remember Chico and the Man, the TV show from the 70s?
Look,
Chico, don't be discouraged.
the great thing is that, one of the women that I love most in the world is Mexican American. She was a girlfriend of mine when we were young. She's still a very, very good friend of mine. And you know what? She wants a wall.
But no, come on, Pops. That border is secure. It is the most secure it's ever been. The elections were the most secure they've ever been. The economy is better than it's ever been. We all know this.
Yeah, it's like putting Scotch tape on your motherfucking Gemini, right? That's how secure it is, right?
Yeah. It's like wearing
Gemini, Volt 10 is your Gemini discount code.
I'm going to need that Gemini discount code when I start fulfilling.
I got you.
I've said that border is as secure as a bikini made out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't even, dude. We need to stop now before we go deeper. You know what I'm saying?
We can't go deeper. The overlords will get us.
There's so many more things that are fucked up that we could talk about, like Russian pipelines and all kinds of shit.
Yep, we dare not. We dare not. That's right. 80 billion. You missed. 80 billion voters can't be wrong. Obey Biden.
Obey. That's the problem right there. And for all of you that ever saw They Live.
State of Texas just followed state of Georgia, where I'm at. Our governor several months ago said there will be no passport requirements. You don't have to prove vaccination for shit in Georgia. Texas just followed suit. And they're basically, our governors are saying, "Come at me, Joe. Yeah. We don't care what your mandate says. We're not doing it."
It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. The problem is, though, is it's still an industry-based thing. Okay? Everybody in the medical industry is getting slammed with, you got to get the jab. Whether you want it or not, or you got to quit. Or you got to quit your job.
The chief surgeon of the Air Force said they are refusing the mandate for their pilots because of some incidents that happened.
Because so many have decided they're not going to fly if you make... Yeah.
Because several of them coincidentally died of heart attacks while in flight.
Yeah, you got SEALs that are walking off the job. You got pilots that are walking off the job. Our country is the less best defended than it's been in decades right now. We are so weak right now.
Strange how that always happens when a liberal is in the White House.
We are so weak right now.
But look, you know what? We can't talk about it because the overlords will strike us down, Pops. And my channel is a scapegoat. My channel could go away tomorrow, but yours is important. So let's don't get you taken.
I'm not on mine.
How are you doing, by the way, on your race to 1,000?
Oh, that was great. The other night when Bancroft announced it to everybody and
Right.
20 other people joined the race, right? Okay, I got knocked down from second to fourth, but I didn't care. But during the show, during Bancroft's show, I got 8 new subscribers. Okay. Well, yesterday I had Bancroft on my show and I
Yeah.
lost 3.
You lost 3 with Bancroft? Thanks,
For a net gain
Banky.
of 5. For a net gain of 5, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, see, you got to remember, my group grew up a Facebook group. I mean, this whole thing grew up out of a Facebook group. Okay.
Right,
During a time when I didn't know anything about CG, none of that shit.
right.
I just had a group that we turned
Hmm.
into a networking group. And over the last year and a half, I've been educated and experienced and learned and see what's up and made my choices on that particular issue, right? Well, there's still, a lot of people in my group that don't see it the way I do, but they still understand what the group is for, which is networking and promotion.
Right,
Some of the people, I mean, yeah, they're on the left. I don't care.
right,
They come
right,
out in
right.
the group, they post their link, they promote, they come out on the con, they come out on the show. I don't have any requirements other than be cool to me personally.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's close. Mine is don't be a dick.
Well,
That's it. Don't
and
be a
then
dick.
there's also the if I find out you ripped off one of my friends or burned somebody that I like or that I'm close to, you might get left behind for doing that shit too. Okay,
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know, um, but
Don't be a dick.
I promote everybody until they come at me stupid. Okay, so the ones that leave just because of who I am, they're not thinking in the terms of self promotion and selling books.
And you're not losing anybody if that
And
happens.
well, I mean, I'm out here trying to sell your books. If you don't want me to, yeah, leave. Don't waste my time, man. I got other
Hmm.
people's books to sell. I
Right,
mean,
right.
I don't have a problem with people clearing the docket for me to help others that are more deserving. I have no problem with that at all. You know, I'd rather everybody was deserving and we got to promote everybody's stuff.
Right, right.
I never
My
put
philosophy for being successful in art, the painting stuff that I do,
right.
is you have to, number one, you have to make art proficiently and prolifically. So you make art. Number two, you show it to people. Be online, be on galleries, do
Yeah.
whatever. And number three, be nice. Don't be a dick. Stand behind your product. Well, lo and behold, I come over to Comicsgate and they have the exact same philosophy. How am I not going to be Comicsgate?
And yet you get attacked for it.
So far, I haven't because I'm cancel proof.
Well, see, and for me, it's like they've been coming at me for a long time before I even went Comic State. Okay, I've
Yeah.
had people that have been coming at me because I came in here as a nobody. All right, there were con promoters whose shows were getting shut down.
Hmm.
And they were sending me guests for my online con because I had something here and they didn't have anything now.
Right, right.
Okay. So one of them, and I'm not going to go into names, but he decided that my group was the place for him to soapbox. And
Mm,
I told him, no, that's not what the group is for, bro.
that's
The
right.
group is for people to promote. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, dude doubled down and he got booted out the group. He has done nothing but trash every single thing I've done since then. I have not
Hmm.
talked to dude in over a year. I
Yeah,
don't say his name. This is the first time I've talked about him in
yeah,
over a year.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't, it's like, okay, fine, bye. Okay, fine, bye.
Leave.
I got no time for that. I'm trying to promote these people's work.
Yeah.
Now, some of the people that dude brought to the show way, way, way back then are still in the group and they still come out to the show, and some of them don't. It's no skin off my ass either way.
Exactly
If
right.
you don't show up, that means somebody else gets that time slot.
Yep.
Do you want to be that
But
guy or
right,
not?
right now, what we got to do, pops, is get you to 1,000, get you monetized, so you can have commercials and get some money, and so you can get some super chats and get some money because what you do is worth it.
Well, and man, It's
No,
like
no,
that was
just say
never the
thank you.
goal, though.
Just say
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah,
But you know
because
what I'm
what you
saying?
do
It's
is
like
worth it.
when I started doing this, that was never what the goal was. I
I
didn't
know.
know shit about YouTube monetization. I
Right,
didn't know nothing about nothing. I came
right,
out here
right.
because my friends couldn't set up tables.
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
first, it was just in my Facebook group. I didn't have YouTube and Twitch and all that other shit. The first like 6 or 7 CromCons were all just in the group.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
have a platform. I didn't know anything about anything.
yep.
This was never what happened to the madness and whatnot was never ever planned. Everything that happens tomorrow is something I came up with today. Okay, I'm serious. I
Amen,
come
brother.
up with an idea and I jump out there to see if it's going to work for you guys
Yep,
right
yep,
away. Jump in
yep.
with both feet to see if it's going to work for you
And
guys.
any
It does,
creator that comes on your
you know.
show and doesn't appreciate that effort isn't worth it. Because I tell you, I really appreciate, right now I don't even have a product yet. It's still in production. But I appreciate what you do for others because it's an awesome thing to do. It just is. It's
It's
the right
fun, bro.
thing to do. Yeah, yeah.
It's fun.
Let me ask you a question, Pops. Do you watch Well Read?
I don't watch reviews.
Okay.
I just try to. I'm a hype guy. I'm the other end of the spectrum. I'm trying to
Okay.
get people to buy books. I don't want to be influenced by somebody else's opinion before
Okay.
I've even had the chance to go out and promote this guy or know anything about. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
that's
like
that's what I was going to ask you was, if you watch review shows, does that affect how you feel? Blah blah blah. But you don't watch them, so good.
no, I
That
ran into
answers the
that.
question.
I ran into that a few months ago, where I mean, I love Piper, and we had teamed up to do a show. You know,
Hmm.
only Piper's a reviewer, and she was offended by the fact that I said I didn't think creators should be reviewers because I don't
Hmm.
think y'all should be out there bashing each other.
I agree
Okay,
with that. And
that's a
Well Read is
personal
not
opinion.
he is not an artist, so he's not a creator. He's
But you
just
know what I
straight.
mean? It's like to me,
Yeah, I do.
it was a personal opinion. I just
Yeah,
don't think that. Okay, well,
yeah.
she got mad, so we don't have a show anymore. But I still love Piper.
Sure,
I don't
sure.
watch reviews. I didn't
Yeah,
even know Piper did reviews because I don't watch them.
yeah. You're never going to see me doing a review. Uh,
I've seen that too. Yeah, you don't have to put it up.
I'm gonna leave that up for a minute, Goblin. So if Will Red ever watches this stream, he
Oh,
can see
shit.
it.
Hang him out to dry like that, isn't it? See how hot
Woo, but you know what? Will Red's a good sport. He'll take that exactly as it was meant.
no,
He's a good sport. But yeah, you'll never see me do a review of an independent creator's work on my channel.
now
All I
I
want to
do
do,
the I have decided to do the Pops 1 sentence review,
okay,
which has nothing to do with plot or dissecting your characters or any of that. It's just whether or not I liked it.
yep, yep.
I mean, because
That's
basically,
exactly
I
the
don't.
critique. That's the critique my wife gives me in my artwork. No joke. I'll say, honey, come check out this painting. And she says only one of two things.
Yeah, there you
She'll
go.
say, looking good. That means keep painting. Or pretty. That means I'm done. That's it. That's the only critique I ever get.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm the hype guy. I want to be out here, be able to go out here with a clear conscience, telling everybody what I think of their campaign page and whether or not I think I'm going to back it or whatever. I mean, it's the hype guy. Okay,
I
even if
would
it's
love,
something I'm
speaking of
not
which,
into, even
I
if it's
would
something I'm
love,
not into,
I
I
would
still
love,
go out there and hype it.
right.
I mean,
I would love to get Red Gaze to do my promo video.
he did the one for Monday Madness.
Yep.
But I mean, I love it, and it doesn't cause me any strikes. But I've heard some of the trailers that he makes for people, campaigns
Uh,
cause strikes on people's channels. So you got to make sure that either you supply your own music or something. Make sure you put something on there that's not going to cost a strike.
yeah, I've got my own music for it. Fortunately, I'm an old musician, so I still know a lot of fantastic musicians that are willing to help out. one of the best guitar players I ever knew is going to allow me to use the best song he ever wrote, and it is badass.
Now, I just got a message from Will trying to get us to go out on his channel. Did you get one of those?
Let me look. Will's not showing me that kind of love. Let me see. Nope.
What the hell? Where you at, Will? We're over here, dude, on Twitter. Yo, I'm live with Doc right now. You could come. You could send us both the link.
I'll bounce over there.
Bug it. I'll just send you the link. We're going over there.
Okay.
Let's go crash Will's house.
All right. My YouTube channel. I'm going to bounce on over to another channel. I'm not even sure how this works. I think we'll cause a rift in the space-time continuum.
Okay.
Throw me the link, brother.
Let me get this link in.
Do I have to exit this? Yeah, I have to exit this stream.
Yeah,
all right. All right. I'm going to say goodbye, guys. Tree Goblin, come over to Creators Outlet. Tacey, come over to Creators Outlet. And we'll continue over there.
Yeah, there you go.
See you in a minute. End this one. Bye.
Peace.